Welcome to Rangers Radio on the Matchday show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world. Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Rangers Radio. Rangers won, Ludogorets 0 in a quite entertaining game at Ibrox. Maybe lacked a bit of quality at times, but it was entertaining. Join myself up here back in the show as well, Robert. Robert, 7 W's.
Aye, that's what it's all about, mate. Comfortable victory, as you said, was the prettiest, but a win's a win. First win in Europa League. Momentum keeps on rolling.
I didn't think there was a player in our team tonight that didn't do something good at some point, mate. Yeah, there was some, yeah. But there was other times where they done the rank thing, yeah.
Yeah, there was, mate. There was. I know we'll touch on the kind of chances and things like that, but there was a few chances the wrong decisions were made, particularly in the final third. But I will not dwell on it too much, obviously, because we came away with a victory, and that's the most important thing, pal.
Right. So we started okay without making a lot of chances, mate. Again, I thought Mikey Moore and Gassama, I thought they were our poorest players tonight, if I'm honest. Yeah, so the decision making at times they got wrong, but we weren't making or getting the ball in early enough. And I agreed with Ali about Chamity's runs, mate. Yeah, so I'm available to help the coaching staff with the runs that he has to make out of possession where he's got to be, mate. I could help him. Right, but however, Chamity, I thought, worked hard, got involved, annoyed them, and helped make the goal. And the goal came for another set piece, mate. We try to speed up something we don't do with Tav, because Tav takes 5 minutes to come across. We made a quick one, mate. We got the defence move, we put it in, it was still all panic stations. Chamity plays the ball down and an excellent wee pass for Asgard. I don't know if you noticed it, mate. And then a great finish with Diamandi, and we've got the goal. But before that, mate, they had a big chance, and Jack Butland was out the fire with an excellent save, mate. That's how the game went, because it was quite an open game. It wasn't great defending, but it was a decent move by them. I'll give you that. Butland made a good save. After that, I didn't think Jack had his best game. Didn't have a lot today. He's kicking it poor, at times put us under a wee bit of pressure. Nobody wants it on that surface on that kind of night, mate. Just go a bit longer. No suicide passes, but we made them. And then Jack flapped it one at the end. We got out of jail, but he still made an excellent save in the first half. So we gets the goal, mate, and it was a decent finish with Diamandi, who I thought was arguably our best player in the first half.
I totally agree, mate. Obviously, I mentioned Diamandi and Raskin as kind of two key players for me this evening, and Diamandi, I think, done the job well. He took his goal well as well. And again, as you said, another set piece. I just wonder if this guy's got a goal bonus in his contract somewhere. I can see he'd be making a mint if he would right now. As Scott Fry. As you say, mate, the speed of taking it, they just changed it up. You just say we wait for Tav to get over to the pitch and get ready, do the arm signals. People are in position. So I know they took it short and changed it up a wee bit, but it's a well worked goal, mate. Diamandi takes it away nicely because it's quite a hard finish on that surface as well, the skid. But I liked Asgar's wee touch, mate. I did pick it up when I seen it. Not at first, but on the certain angle, I seen it on the second one.
No, but what I'm going to say, I know I talk about people doing well. There was a part in the first half, I can't remember when it was actually, but Asgard went back into a defensive position. He came and won the ball and strolled out of defence with me. Listen, I've been critical, and I'll always like to be fair. And I think he came out to the left-hand side and started an attack. It was excellent play, mate, you know. And I'll go back to what I said originally. There was times when Gassama, he gave the ball away cheaply. His passing was poor. On my notes, I counted 7 before he actually passed it to There was 7 passes in a row when he passed it, went in the opposition. But when he runs with the ball, he causes problems. He's not the greatest passer. Mikey Moore glides past players at times and then made the wrong decision. For instance, I don't know if you picked up on it, mate. There was a couple who done great. He's just got to pass it out to Aarons, who's in a better position. And that's where the inexperience shows, mate, that you're just not quite led. Because he will get better, more because he's got something about him where you've got to make the right decisions. And you seen him getting frustrated as the game went off, and I thought it was the right decision to take him up, mate.
Aye, that's the thing. We just need to, certainly players that you've mentioned there, that you just need to touch up and polish in their games. Just those final decision makings. As much as Danny Rowe and the coaching staff can tell them week in, week out on the tuning park, but doing it in a game, making the right decision, and as you say, it's simply just the timing of a pass or making the right pass can create a better chance for somebody and create more goals. So fine wee touch-ups that are needed just into the game. I think Gassama, when he gets the ball, he's got the pace to beat men. You can see that. At times, you wish he would do it more because he has got the pace and the ability to take them on and get by people and cause them problems, draw fouls, which I think he get no protection from the referee tonight either. I'll get that out the way first.
I'm going to throw a thing into that. Yeah, I'm going to throw. That's a learning curve for Gassama, and I'll tell you why. I did think some of them were fouls later on in the game, mate. But see when you've dived, mate. See when you've dived, because there was no contact for one of the ones you've been doing for. And once you get that, a referee might not give you the breaks, mate. That's the learning curve for him. Yeah, there's a time to go down and there when there's contact, mate. But there's other times it's a man's game, mate. And then you don't get the decision when you're due a decision. I'm not saying they weren't fouls, mate. What I'm saying is that can happen at any level of football, mate. Yeah. And I thought the referee was atrocious, mate. Well, some of the bookings were due. But so how they never get more bookings is beyond me, yeah.
No, I know. I felt the same, mate. As you say, it comes with experience because Sam, particularly in European games, where if a decision doesn't go your way the first or second time, you know yourself it's not going to come. But it poses a question in the referee's mind, though, that because he's had that dive before, how much are you going to give him leeway in that sense, the referee? But I agree that not everyone was a foul, but a select few, particularly towards the end of the game.
There were fouls, but before I don't want to see a player playing with your jersey diving. I don't mind when they get fouled. I don't mind if they get down when there's contact. I don't want to see them diving. Only my opinion, mate. Other people might see it different, yeah.
No, I'm not a big fan of diving either, mate. Again, there's times where you'll feel contact and players will go down, and you've seen it before, where a player skips by a defender, he's trying to keep his balance, and you say, if you just go down, you'll get the penalty. It's not a dive, but it's that just experience and using the football knowledge, whether to draw the foul and get it, hopefully. But just these wee touch-ups, we keep mentioning it with some individual players, but it's the young players that they'll learn as they go out in their careers, whether that's with us or elsewhere, they'll pick it up.
Yeah, and I've got to congratulate Danny Rowe. I think he got some of the centre half tactics spot on. Yeah, I know there was a couple of those passes. There was one we highlighted with Big Fernandez in the first half when he passed it at the park. But see the way the centre halves, when they were coming deep, were going with him and stepping in and taking the ball off him. I thought his tactics were spot on, mate, because he's obviously looked at how they play.
Aye, I was actually quite impressed with Giga, to be honest with you. I thought he done pretty well. He was coming out, meeting the ball as well, always sticking kind of with his man when the ball's coming up high, winning fouls as well. So impressed with him because he's going to have to obviously play at the weekend as well. And obviously went to AFCON, never played any minutes there. So to come into the game a wee bit rusty, then it's certainly a good positive for him to get back involved in the squad. But again, comfortable, as you said, they only had that one big chance in the first half in particular. Jack Butland saved pretty well. But I thought Giga as well at that moment done enough against the attacker to put him off. But Butland still got to make the save, which is crucial at 0-0.
Aye. So in the second half, mate, I mean, obviously we had opportunities to score more goals, never quite got it right. And that was summed up with a good move, Majowski. What's he thinking about, me?
Do you know, I've actually sat and thought about it to come on here, and I've still not got an answer. It's there to be hit first time. I don't know why he's not hitting it. You would think, given the fact he's got a hat-trick the other night there, he would be dying at a chance like that falling to his feet. I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking, mate. I could try and think of an answer all night. I couldn't come up with one.
All right, mate. So then, obviously, with more opportunities, and young Curtis was lively when he came on, and he had a decent effort. The goalie made a decent save. He makes things happen. We got it slightly wrong a few times when Raskin was maybe took the shot. I think the right decision was to pass the ball to Kasama. But I tell you what, before that, the right decisions for Moore to let it go earlier. And if somebody could have worked in Mikey Moore's, there's times when you've got to release the ball quicker just to improve his game, mate. Not having a go, except the boy's only 18.
Again, it's just that experience and knowing when to release the ball, when to play the pass, and who to play it to. I get these players want to drive the ball and get forward, but at times it is just simply releasing it, getting the move going, because the old saying is the ball moves faster than you. So play the ball, move the game quicker, and you get in behind your opponents a lot faster. But again, it's just small things, small margins that you just need to polish up on their game.
Right. But what I will say, the game's done, mate. We won the game. Another clean sheet. 7 W's, mate. And I hope we can turn that into 2 times 7, mate. Yeah?
Yep, I don't see any reason why we can't, mate. Confidence is growing, can see it.
Yeah. So, we get the phone lines opened.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I think it'd be difficult to pick a man in a match tonight, mate, because I think there was times where players were very, very good moments, and then they had some bad moments. But I'm going to give you Diamondi. Your take on it?
Yep, same here, mate. Diamondi for me. Picked him and Raskin out in the pre-show, and I thought he just done his job pretty well tonight. And again, getting the goal, which has turned out to be crucial in the end. So I would give it to Diamondi, but there wasn't anybody that was really off. I know you're saying about Moore and Gassama, probably the two that were the poorest of the lot, but arguably there was a lot of good individual performances there. I thought Giga played well, Fernandez looked comfortable, but I'll give it to Diamondi.
He gets a goal, mate. He gets a winner, and I thought he worked hard. He worked hard, mate, and showed an appetite. And by the way, he was unlucky with that one. He ran through and took it. I don't know if it was his chest. It might have been up to well, it was high on his chest, and the goal would just come out and go up to it, mate. It was unlucky. I think he worked hard, Diamondi. Showed an appetite that I liked. I've been critical of him. He gets the goal, the winning goal, mate. So I'm with you, mate, as I said earlier on. But look, their record, they're not a bad side, mate. You know, you study European football maybe more than I do. Let me, when you're looking at stuff, mate. And look, in normal circumstances, that's a decent result. Where we've been in Europe this season, it's a decent result. So you just need to take it and move on. Yeah, we can't influence the table, but we'll be more frustrated when we look back at that campaign.
We will be, mate. We will be, because the teams that we've lost and dropped points against, excuse me, arguably on paper and on previous seasons, we would have put them off the park, would have won comfortably, and we'd probably be sitting quite high. I mean, that puts us onto 4 points now, and there's not actually a lot of points in it between not being in it and being in the playoff. I think it's only 3 points in between it at the moment, 3 or 4 points. So
we could have easily had 5 or 6 points more than that league, mate, easily.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. Again, it's just the damage was done, as we touched on in the pre-show. Damage was done early part of the season before Danny Rule came in, but that is a frustration. But Daniel will know as well, though, that he's got players there, and hopefully additions between now and obviously the next European campaign, that we can make strides and progress again next time. And you never know, mate. It might be in the Champions League. You never know. Depends on how the season ends up.
Yeah, listen, Mr. Fox, I'm going to read out what Mr. Fox has posted, mate. Are you all right with that? Yeah?
Oh, yes. Let's hear for the Fox.
All right. Special mention for Fernandez from Peterborough to European football, and written off by a large portion of the support. Looking like going to grow into a good acquisition. Fox is a wise man, mate.
He is, and it's hard to disagree with any of that because obviously we spent a good bit of money on him, and he came from, as you said, Peterborough, and a lot of people kind of questioned the amount of money that was spent on a guy from that kind of level, but he's matured into the player he is at the moment. We can see he's got a talent in terms of his height. That's something you're not going to take away from him. So he's a threat in both boxes. He's comfortable with ball at his feet, sometimes too comfortable for our liking. It puts you into that kind of oh moment. You've seen one the night
What kind
we
of
drove
moment's
into
that? What
defence.
kind of moment? Give me that again.
Oh,
All right, carry on.
to keep it clean. But he's comfortable with the ball and he's growing as a player, as I said earlier as well in the show, that he's just maturing, he's developing, and he's still young. So I think there's an open path for Fernandez. He's got the right attitude, he applies himself well. So I think it could be a real good find, and hopefully he stays injury free and he can come on to be a successful career at the club. He's confident in his play.
Well, mate, if he carries this form on, if you know at the end of the season, mate, his value's increased rapidly, mate. He's now playing European football, and if he's part of a successful team, fingers crossed, yeah. You know, so as Fox put it, he looks a good acquisition, mate. So 5 months ago, we might not have been thinking that, but he's grown into the game and will get better the more games he plays. And obviously, if he gets the right partner, you know, so fair play to the young man. You know, I bet he can't believe it. You know, I can't remember the team he was out in loan with when he was at Peterborough, and now he's playing in the Europa League against the champions, Bulgaria, mate.
Again, it's a credit to himself as well because he was quite out the fold in a way. Like, I remember the game against St Mirren, a lot of people kind of criticised his performance with the goal that he was at fault for as well, and partly at fault for away to St Mirren. But he's come into the team when there was injuries, and he's kept his place. He's owning the jersey, and it's his to lose. But as I said, he's got the right attitude to continue the form. And when you watch his interviews as well, he's got an understanding of what's in front of him, what this club's like as well, what the expectation is. He's switched on, and he's comfortable in his play, as I said. So you might be right that he just needs that consistent partner next to him, because he said quite a few people. He's played with Giga, Suter, Tav at centre half at times, Cornelius. I think he just needs a strong partnership that will grow. And he's part of one at the moment because domestically, joint top of the goals conceded, best defence in the league. So he's certainly gaining experience in his young years, mate.
Aye, credit where it's due, mate. He came out of defence, made a couple of decent passes, mate. Yeah, he made an error, and we all screamed at the TV and the people in the park when he gave it away cheaply in the first half. I think he was trying to find Aaron's and put it anywhere near him, mate. But the errors will become less the more experience he gets and the more comfortable he comes and the more confident he's got, yeah. You know, and look, Danny Rose sets us up with that 4-2-3-1, and he's got his arse cards, it's just attacking. So they've got a hard job, the two centre halves and the two midfielders in front of them, because when another team pushes up, because they had 5 up the park at sometimes, mate. So you've got to cover a lot of ground. So it was an open game, so you might give the odd chance away, which we did, but we can still come away with a clean sheet, mate.
Aye, and again, that's another pleasing thing to see, that we've got a win, but also a clean sheet to go with it. Aye, they didn't pose too much of a threat, but we did give up some chances that, as you say, maybe another team might have capitalised on. But I think it's our 10th clean sheet now under Danny Rule. So we were leaking goals, we were leaking chances. That was some of the numbers that we conceded per game was ridiculous. So as we touched on in pre-show again, the defence has been shored up, and there's been changes in that backline as well. But to get the clean sheet is always pleasing, and then obviously to win the game, it adds icing on the cake.
Aye, it keeps the feel-good factor. You know, there was a decent crowd the other night, considering the weather, considering what it meant as a game, yeah. So that's because how we've been playing, mate. Let's be honest, if the form had continued through October the night, even in these circumstances, there's half the number of people there. So fair play to all the Bears who turned up tonight, supported the team, put money into the club. I doff my hat to each and every one of them. Got my tickets myself, obviously can't make it, you know why. But however, the feel good factors, I would say it might have doubled that crowd tonight, mate, because in that circumstance. I know that people have got the packages and paid for them, mate, but if the feel good factor wasn't there, I genuinely believe there's half the number of bums in seats tonight. So Ibrox is going to be full on Sunday and it's going to be rocking.
I don't disagree with you, mate, at all, because, as you said, when we're winning games, people want to go and enjoy the games and see a team that's winning on the park, and that's what we've been doing. And again, given the fact of where we're at in the league form as well, that'll excite people to get along and be part of it, because it could be a journey to tell from where we've been in October and before to now into what could be at the end of the season. A lot of fans will want to get along when they can, and again, as you say, fair play to the ones that travel tonight in horrible conditions from near and far. But as they always do, mate, they're there to follow the team near and far, and they'll rightly do it and continuously do it until the end of the season and beyond.
And that clean sheet record, mate, is pretty good, isn't it? You know, 20 games he's been in charge of years for. 20 games. Feels a lot longer, mate. You know, because of how the seasons went, mate, yeah. And 10 clean sheets. It's good stats, mate.
It is, and it just shows you the work that's went in as well from the coaching staff and behind Danny Rule as well to address the issues and concerns that us as supporters could see in, game out, and they've addressed it. The defence is shored up. We're starting to score goals. Other players within the team are starting to contribute to goals and assists as well. I said it earlier, mate, there's a proper togetherness and belief at the moment in time, and it's hard to see where that's going to be disrupted, because as soon as you get into that swing of winning games and momentum, that carries you through game by game. Tonight's done, another win on the board. All eyes now shift to Sunday.
Sorry, it's 21 games, mate. That the start I'm reading doesn't count the night's game, yeah.
21 games, 13 wins, 5 losses and 3 draws, 10 clean sheets in them.
Yeah, so that's 4.5 games since we lost a goal, mate.
Yep, and again, you've got players coming back from injury as well, which is only going to add to that. You've still got players to come in the transfer window. There's a real good feeling about this at the moment, mate. Not getting too high, not getting too low, but just where we're at, there's a real good sense of this could be something.
See, when we scored the goal, when the players celebrated, do you think they celebrate like that in August?
No. I'll tell you why, because I think, as I said, they have the belief now as well. I think back in August, September, they didn't believe. They never believed in the coaching. They never believed in themselves. That's something Danny Rose inherited. You can see when he talks about the players, he believes in them. And when you're a player and your manager's believing in you, it gives you that wee boost. And as I said, it just shows you the growth in the squad at the minute.
Yeah. I've got to. I don't think he was the man of the match tonight. I don't think he was outstanding by any manner of means, but the level of consistency the young boy at left back, young Jaden, puts in, he's maybe not a star, he's one of these unsung heroes, mate, yeah. But for a young boy, he's come in and he's got a tremendous attitude, mate, yeah.
Aye, he has, and again, he's another player that's growing in confidence, developing. I know not everybody's a fan of developing other players, but whilst he's at our club, he's developing. He's been an integral part of the defence that's been shored up, and we've obviously got 2 Romans coming into the building, so it's good to have 2 good options there at left back.
All right, we've been joined by Alan. Evening, Alan.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Neither,
mate. What's on your mind?
Do you know something? Tonight's performance, I was really quite chuffed. I was really proud. We're starting to get our act together. The defence is starting to close people down. We never gave them very many chances. And what we did give them, Big Jack Butland, he was solid in goals. Our midfield are starting to perform like a midfield should, closing down people. As soon as you get the ball, you're at them like a right terrier. And up front, I tell you what, Chimiti, he's grown on me. He's really, really grown on me. The big guy, he's got a lovely touch to him, a lovely stride. But whenever he loses the ball, it's that kind of wee leg he sticks out just to regain the ball. And I think I'm really optimistic. I'm very positive on going forward with these group of players.
Big change, Alan, eh?
I tell you what, it is, and it just shows you sometimes it depends upon the either the head coach or the manager, what they install in the team, what they get, the advice they gives them. And I spoke to you before a couple of weeks, about a week ago, Ox, with Big AK on the line. It is down to the manager. It really is down to the manager or head coach, whatever you want to address them as. If he puts a hand on the shoulder, gives them encouragement, don't listen to the crowds, keep going, do your best. But yeah, again, his performance up front, we could rhyme off all the names of the players who weren't too great at the beginning of the season. Now we look at them and we actually realise there's a player there.
Yeah, listen, mate, we'll never be able to know that if the different coaching staff at the start of the season had got these group of players where we'd have been. They could have been worse, they could have been better. It looks to everybody that they would have been better, but you'll never be able to answer that because it's a hypothetical. But I don't disagree with your sentiment. Robert?
Hi, evening, Alan. Good to hear from you, pal.
How you doing, Robert?
Not bad, mate, not bad. No, you're right, mate. I can't, again, same as Ox, I can't disagree with you because there has been a remarkable change in the players' attitudes as well as the performances and determination within games to go and get results. And again, we'll keep going over it until we really can believe it's actually happening. But to pick up the same group of players that he had in October to now and get a lot of positives from them, a lot of chemistry between them, it is down to the coaching of Danny and his staff that he's brought along with him. So you have to give credit where it's due. And that also goes to the players as well to have belief in the manager, because they clearly didn't have belief in Russell Martin. Let's be honest, we can clearly see it. So they've bought in from day one, and they're believing in themselves and believing in the coaching staff. And us as supporters are believing as well.
Robert, did Danny Rowe not mention that he was the third choice of manager for Rangers? Imagine if he was the first choice at the beginning of the season. Now, I know that it's ifs and buts. We could have had different players, but I'm whatever players they brought in, and I'm dying to see how these three that he's just signed is going to gel in the team, and I'm looking forward to it because regardless about these three players, it's what's on the field just now is actually starting to gel. They're starting to come forward. They're starting to play with confidence. They fear no foe.
Yeah. Listen, mate, I think you're right. I mean, obviously 7 wins in a row for 3 competitions, yeah, it's good form at any time. And this is the time we're now starting to turn to home, Alan, and we've got to keep this form up, mate, yeah?
Well, I think it will continue because I don't see the hunger I see in the players and the way they play, the way they hold their position, the way they either defend or they attack. I just see that hunger. I see the hunger in them. They don't get me wrong. Yes, I know there'll be slips and slops at the back of the defence where we might concede a goal. And when we're going forward, we might miss a chance. But I'm very confident that we will always grab 3 points from the next game.
Yeah, it was a bad combination we had before Danny came in. We were getting away a lot of chances and we weren't making. We gave away a few tonight, but we made more, Robert. Eh?
Aye, we did, and again, you're never going to get at this moment in time. You're never going to get the perfect scenario. But what we're doing is we're cutting out our own mistakes first and foremost. We're not making silly decisions at the back. Yes, teams will get in, they'll have chances, but we're standing up to the threat they're bringing at games. We're reducing the amount of shots that's on Jack Butland's goal because he was under siege in a lot of the games at the start of the season, particularly in Europe as well. You cast your mind back to Panathinaikos, Pleasant, all their teams. They caused real concern. That doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. It's small moments and small margins that they're getting in. Aye, if it's a good bit of play and they're getting behind, fair play. But again, we're cutting out mistakes of our own. But one of the things you're touching on there, Alan, about the players from then to now, it's been a big change. I wonder how different Danny Rule's traffic light system would be now after seeing these players compared to what it was when he first done it. That would be interesting to know.
Well, the only person who could answer that would be Danny himself. But as a spectator watching, as each game passes by, I see the strength growing. No, don't get me wrong. It's like I don't care if we win 5-0, 10-0. I just want 3 points to the board, a good performance. That I want to see in my defence. Clean sheet is always a great thing, but it's slow baby steps. Slow baby steps. If we can hold on to the group of players and add to the weaknesses as Danny Rule sees, I mean, I cannot imagine how we'll play next. I'm so excited, but at the same time, my feet are on the ground. I'm actually so positive, but at the same time, I kind of, you know what I mean? I'm still waiting. I don't know if it's just being paranoid. I'm still waiting for the backlash, because that's what we've had with previous managers. Go on a 7-game win, wait for the backlash. And I really do hope that there ain't going to be no backlash.
We just, obviously, it's not about 7 now. It's about making the 8 and then taking it on, Robert, then Alan, yeah.
It is, and that's what tonight was about, keeping that momentum going, because you know you've got a league game coming up on Sunday that the way the table sits, that you can't afford any slip-ups. And there's another game, obviously, before us at the weekend that you're hoping that a team or both teams drop points that we can capitalise on. But the main focus is just keeping ourselves right, doing what we've been doing, winning games. I would still make wrong choices in the final third. We could be a bit neat and tidier, but end of the day, we've got ourselves back in a position because the players are performing to what Danny Rule's telling them. They're getting wins on the board, and that's what we'll go and do on Sunday. At Ibrox, as you said, Ox, earlier on, have it packed, which I think it will be. And again, close gaps, keep hunting, because there will be a time we'll be us sitting at the top of that table at some point before now and the end of the season. Again, I'm not getting carried away, but just where we're at the moment, there is a real good sense of belief between supporters and players and coaches.
Yeah, we've been saying that Barry Craig, let's not get carried away. Gerrard's Pete Rangers would have run all over that mob tonight in Europe. Yeah, the Seville team would have that team. The team that Clermont had would have beat that team. I don't deny that for a minute. I didn't think they were in any great shakes. However, you can only play in front of you. It's a horrible night. You get there and you win the game. You move on. Alan?
Well, tonight's weather across England, it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. Both teams struggled to a certain point of view, but like you mentioned, Sunday, Dundee Dundee's up for a game. Dundee's always up. It's their cup final against Rangers, right? So we're going to go out there. We get a victory. We put down another 3 points. I know Celtic play the same day. I don't know when Hearts actually play on. I don't know if they play Saturday. I don't know if they play Sunday. But I'm excited for the simple fact is, for once, it's 3 teams. And we know that 2 teams can bottle this. We know that two teams, Hearts and Celtic, will bottle it. They've done it. Celtic's done it throughout the season. They've bottled it. They've had bad management. We've had it as well, but we've came out of it. But I'm quite, how can I say this one? I'm looking forward to this run-in. Looking forward to the run-in. I think this is going to be a very interesting season. But if that helicopter is taken off in the last game of the season, go to Ibrox.
I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. Oh, well, the optimism's there. You can feel it. But it is tinged with realism. We're not getting carried away, Robert. Yeah.
Aye, we know there's still a lot of football to be played. There will be twists, there'll be turns, and I'm sure we'll play our part in that as well. As I said, there's the way the league's been this season. Any team in that league can beat any team. It's been shown, it's been highlighted. But as long as we're just doing what we're doing, making signings, winning games, just tick off game one by one. Don't look too far ahead.
Yeah, don't listen to what they're actually doing the other side of the city or the other side of the country. Just play our game.
Aye. Listen, we keep winning. You've nothing to worry about, and obviously you want to win at the right time. There's certain games that they say 6 pointers. We've won and lost one of them arguably lately. But if we keep winning, we're home to Dundee. You could argue if you get a 1-0 victory, a Bridgeman as we call it on here, Robert. You're happy. But however, we'd want to play against them. I mean, let's be honest, Dundee wouldn't be a patch on the side that we played tonight. If we take and make more chances, yeah, the game will be different. I don't see them as being as open. But however, you make and take more chances, hopefully keep a clean sheet, you win the game comfortably. And we'll take whatever happens elsewhere. We'll deal with it, mate. But going back to the night, Robert, difficult night. And I think Barry's point is, yeah, we know what the Rangers team is. They're not the finished article. They've got a lot of experience in it. You've seen that tonight. And I'm not having a go at the young lad. I like him. But you've seen that tonight. He just made the wrong decision at times, Mikey Moore. So some of the other teams have had in the past had more experienced pros. That's a reasonable young side. When you take Butland out of that side, right? Who's the next oldest, mate?
Well, now you're asking me. Would it be Aaron's probably? Late 20s, 26?
Aye, it would be, mate. Yeah.
Aye, everybody else is probably about 23, 20
They
odd
would
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Start with
aye,
11, it would be Aaron's.
I see what you're saying there, Ox, mate. Aye. And listen, going back to what Barry said, that I agree. Gerrard's peak would have run over that mob, but Gerrard's peak would have run over almost every team we've played in this European campaign, other than maybe Roma and Porto. Still to come, of course. We don't know. They drew the night. We'll see how we go on next week against them. But we know we've had stronger sides. We know we've bet teams of better calibre. But with the squad we've got at the minute, you take the wins as they come against any opponent.
Did Porter not get beat tonight?
Alan will cut.
Oh, sorry.
Back to me. But no, it's all right, mate. We've been joined by your Jim. Evening, James.
Good evening, Robert. Fox. Fox. I think tonight proved the reason why we need a striker. Fox. We need a striker big time. That's no good enough that tonight. But the chances it was passed up. But the manager's right. I think you start worrying when you stop getting the chances that we need a striker. And again, I think it will go back to the way it was 2 or 3 years ago, where our failure to go out and get a striker cost us a league. Because I think if we don't bring one in, I don't think we're winning this league.
Listen, mate, I can only listen. The striking tonight, the worst bit of striking play. I don't know what you think. I think it was Majovski in front of goal. Mate. I thought it was poor.
100%.
I didn't think he'd a good game. You thought he'd have been buzzing, Robert, but I don't know. Maybe he was frustrated because he didn't get a start after scoring a hat-trick, Robert. But I thought Chamiti led the line and had one half chance. I don't think he should have squared it. I think when I seen it, I've not seen it back. But Mitchell thoughts where the gas man was offside. You might notice that at the game, Jim, but I can't remember any chances. Jamiti was involved in the goal, made a couple of things, but the big striking error of the night was for Majowski. Robert?
Aye, it was, mate, because, again, we touched on it. The ball's fell to him perfectly. He's got to hit it first time. My first
Robert.
thought...
Jim, can you put your phone on mute when you're not talking, mate?
Sorry, man, sorry.
No, just because you're driving, mate, a lot of noise. Put it on mute, we'll bring you in. On you go, Robert.
I was just going to mention the Chimiti chance. I know the one you're talking about, they took it well on the chest. Again, I would have to watch it back to see if Gassama was in an offside position, but on first viewing I thought he just...
Aye.
Was it that one you're talking about now?
Aye, no, it was that one, aye. They were saying he should have squared it. I don't know.
Aye. Hard to tell if he was onside or offside, but my initial thought was he should have just put his head up and it's a tap in for the gas man, but as you know, mate, a striker gets into that position, they're always probably going to shoot 9 out of 10 times, and I think the way he's took it on his chest and turned, he's expecting the keeper to be on him pretty fast, so he's probably thought he just had to get the shot away and not had time to look up. Could be making an excuse for him, I don't know, but no, I thought he leads the line well. You can see the difference when Chimiti plays and then when Majowski comes on. I know they played for a period of time both up the part of the night, but Chimiti's hold-up play is better than Majowski's. I know he's still got to work on his runs and where he is in certain positions at certain times of a play. But Majowski needs to do a wee bit more. I know he's got a hat-trick and I know he's came in and he knows the Scottish League and things like that, but the way Chimiti's playing at the minute, a lot of pressure will start to mount on Majowski, I think, if he's not really contributing as much, and he might end up being in the same category as where Danilo is at the minute. He just maybe goes down that pecking order if we do bring another striker in, whether now or the summer.
Tonight, when young Curtis came on, I can understand why we want to loan him out, right? Now, when young Curtis came on, I seen that forward attacking play, the one where you get a sighted goal, you let loose, right? Now, the young boy Moore, right? He's very similar, right? Can we not play one on each side? The young lads, I feel as though I've got more hunger going forward. Now, to me, I have to admit, going back, he played his heart out, right? When the other, sorry, my apologies. I can't remember the boy's name off the top of my heart. When he came in as a sub, he tried his best, but there was certain times where he chose the wrong. He squared the ball back, but he should have had a shot. Yeah. The days when he used to play with Aberdeen, he would have took that on and scored. And I don't know why he's holding back. I don't know why he's holding back as a striker. As a young lad, I was always a centre forward. Being 6 foot, very fast, I'm ambidextrous, could kick with both legs or both feet. I would take anything on. The ball dropped in the area, I'd try anything. 9 times out of 10, I would score. That's good, but if
you scored 9 times out of 10, were you on the phone to me tonight?
Because I had a cruciate ligament in my left knee playing for the Western Scotland League.
Right. 9 times out of 10, gone, mate.
I know exactly, but as a centre forward myself, I will more criticise when I watch Rangers play and the forwards don't take their chances. Majowski could have took the ball first time.
He's got to shoot, mate. He's got to shoot. And, I don't know what he was thinking, mate. That was, in any game of football, that was bad play, yeah?
Yes, but at the same time, is he trying to please being a team player, or is he trying to please being greedy and scoring a goal?
It's the same. It's about this right decision making, mate. He's got to shoot, mate. And I agree with Robert. In the back of a hat trick, you'd have thought he'd have been buzzing, but he didn't.
Yes.
Yeah. And I thought he had a poor game. Jim, what I will say to you, as I say, I think it would be ideal to bring another striker in, but I think the perfect scenario is the one leaves the club, and unfortunately that one should be, and if we could, would be Danilo, mate. You know,
Yeah.
but I get your point now. If Danilo goes, that would suggest I've got somebody lined up to come in, mate.
Aye, we'd like to think that far down the line, I've got somebody ready to come in. But I'll tell you another one, you better be careful that he doesn't find himself in the team. It's a wee gas man. I thought his antics in it,
Yes.
I don't know how it looked on the telly. I thought his antics in it had gone down. I don't know if they were fouls, but to me, when I was sitting at the back of the goal, when they didn't look fouls to me, and I thought he was doing too cheap. I just, there's just something about that wee guy that's not doing it for me in the Rangers jersey.
I agree.
And you know, I know. Listen, mate, we said at the start of the show, Robert, didn't we? That I think there was a couple of fouls late on, Jim. On him, maybe shoves, etc., and they would have been fouls. But I think the reason they get told to get up because the referee caught him diving earlier on, mate. And the thing about it is, if the referee does think it's a dive, what should he have done, Jim?
The caution.
Right. Because he's got to learn that if you go with the antics, and I don't want to see a Rangers player there up. And listen, you know refereeing better than me, mate. It influences your next decision if you think somebody's trying to cheat you, yeah?
Aye, big time. Aye. I thought the referee, some of his decisions tonight were
Oh, weird, mate. Weird,
dubious, man.
Weird.
No, weird to say the least.
Gas man. But I would watch this space in Danilo, mate. Watch this space because he's so far out the pecking order, and I thought he was. I didn't think he was great on Friday when we gave him a chance, mate. And if anybody's listening for our club that wants to send him, I think he's been brilliant, and come and take him for a good transfer fee. Robert?
Aye, listen, we know where Danilo is in the pecking order. I think he knows that himself, and we've touched on it in the past few weeks, mate, that if he's got the ambitions to be playing football, then he needs to obviously go elsewhere. I get he's on still on a 2.5-year contract, and it would take something to get a move elsewhere. But as you say, watch this space, and I think they are looking for a striker. I don't think they're not. I think they're every position. I think Danny Rose mentioned that they're always open to see if the right player comes up, and if it is a striker that comes in, then hopefully they contribute and they start scoring goals. But just on Gassama, I think I'll be honest, I was surprised he started out in the left tonight, Ox. I don't know what your thoughts are on the rest of the guys, but we have seen him obviously start out in the right over the past few weeks. I was surprised that he went left and Moore was on the right. I don't know if I want to read too much into that was that his chance to maybe show that he can still do something, especially with Skov Olsen coming in, that you'd imagine he'd be the starter on at the right-hand side.
That's the way I would play there too, mate. I think Gassama's. I think everybody's seen he's been very effective on the left. I thought his passing was poor tonight, and then he done a couple of good runs with the ball. He's got that in his locker. He's passing, and I agree with Jim about his antics, mate. I don't want to see a Rangers player do that. I know people will say it's part of the game, but that's the way I see it. And also it influences the ref, and you might have a blatant foul with 5 minutes to go, you don't get it, they get to clear the ball, and it could end up in the goal, because that nearly happened, mate. He had the ball down at the 18-yard box. I thought it was a foul, we never got it, and the next thing they're up the park. Yeah? Robert?
Yep, and again, mate, I'll use the same phrase, small margins, small details that could impact a game.
Yep.
Simple as
Listen,
that.
we've got Danny Roll, so if you don't mind, get yourself a mute, and we'll hear from Danny Roll.
Danny, a 1-0 victory this evening and a 7th one on the bounce for your squad. How would you sum that one up?
Yeah, general, when you win 1-0 clean sheet, I think this is a general very positive. I think the first win in Europe. We spoke about that we want to make this process forward. I think now in the last 3 games against Braga we could win away. We should take minimum a point. And today we won first 3 points, now 7 wins in a row. I think this is fantastic. But our demanding is higher. I think especially second half we showed some good situations, some good chances. But then we have to close the games earlier, 2-3-0. Then we have not the situation against us. I think this is generally a part what we have to improve. We have to use our chances And all in all, yeah, at the moment I'm happy with the process, but I know the following games are again tough. We can do not more. It's not about 99%, it's always about 100%, and this is what we need, and this is the reason why we are at the moment in this situation with a lot of wins. And this is what I demand from my group again on Sunday.
Yeah, you mentioned the clean sheet. Seems like your side are finding real different ways to win. They're being really adaptable as well. That must be pleasing.
Yeah, I think Czech again with a good save. We create some really good moments, especially second half. We spoke in the halftime about two things. We adapt our pressing in the second half, a little bit more aggressive. That was more what I want to see. That was better. And then we spoke about we want to come between the lines in the red zone. And yeah, we create in these moments then more and more chances. That was great. And now it's about finalization, the action, score more goals. But all in all, I think the process at the moment is great, and we should be happy for this, but also demanding on ourselves. This is the standard what we want to see.
And the decisive goal this evening coming from a second phase from another set piece. It seems like players are all popping up with goals in big games at the moment. That must be a big aspect for you.
I think this is a part, but I saw a lot of chances from the open play today, from building up. That was also great to see, but this is then about finishing, and this is my wish that we use these chances as well.
Yeah, just lastly, looking ahead to Sunday now, back to league action after a couple of weeks away. It must set up for a big game. Come Sunday, it's just about another 3 points.
Yeah, I demand and I expect opponent, they will fight for everything. For every inch, they will be very compact, very aggressive. They play physical. They go for long ball, second ball, free kicks, and corners. It's a different kind of style what we expect, and we have to be sharp. Yeah, we have to be the basics right. We have enough quality to forward, but if we make less steps, then also these opponents can hurt us. And this is about be consequent. Be on front foot, give 100%, focus on our job, don't look to left or right, look just to our performance. If we do this, then we have a chance to win the next game.
Well, thanks for that, Mr. Fox. We keep saying it, he doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, and he sums the game up pretty well. Robert.
He does. He's not saying anything that we've not already said as well, that he recognises that they're still finishing touches, particularly in the final third from open play. He wants to put teams away earlier, getting 2 or 3 goals before you make it nervy. He knows that. He knows that himself. He's said that a number of times. But again, he's just game's done, focus on Sunday, and that's the demand that he's putting on them, and it's pleasing to hear.
Aye, Alan, you came on initially and said your piece about Danny Rowe. Everybody's getting on the Danny Rowe train. We're not getting carried away, mate. But
we're not. But I tell you what. Sorry, Ox. See that interview I just heard. Right. This is a man who's done he's done his investigation. He's done his research on Dundee. He knows how they're going to come out and perform against us, and he knows how to counteract that. His interview there was absolutely fantastic. Highlighted the strength, the determination that Dundee's going to come against us. And in his head, without giving anything away, he knows how to play against them.
Aye. Alan, last word for yourself. We're just going to wrap up, mate. Thanks for your call, mate. Last word.
Tonight, really enjoyed the victory. It was a well-deserved win from our lads in Europe. Other than that, onwards, upwards, come Sunday, let's face Dundee and get another 3 points.
Yeah, make 7-8. 7-8-9. Keep it going. Yeah, but thanks, Alan.
Yeah.
Speak to you soon, mate.
Always a pleasure.
Cheers, mate. Well, Robert.
Cheers for having me on again, mate. Good to get on the show tonight and obviously come away with a victory as well to talk about. So, important victory in the long scheme of things. 7 wins now in a row. As you say, let's go make it 8 on Sunday. And let's say good times keep rolling. And you never know as well. We might see some new boys on Sunday as well start or play.
I think the two will be involved, mate. Whether they'll start, maybe. You might be right, mate. You might be right. Listen, Robert, always good to hear from you, mate. Thanks to your good self. Thanks to Jim for joining us, and of course Alan, all the way from
Thank you.
sunny Hampshire. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.